right here, okay?
The voice is strong as thunder will be felt across the land. The voice is strong as thunder will be heard across the land. Calling to the healers now to save our neighbor man, who tread upon the innocent and set them live from them.
Thank you, man.
Voice is strong as thunder will be heard across the land. The voice is strong as thunder will be heard across the land. Calling to the Christians to save our neighbor man. Turn their lives and pass on by the man on the Jericho road. The voice is strong as thunder will be held across the land. The voice is strong as thunder will be heard across the land. Calling to the people now to save our neighbor man. They are at peace with murder on their watch. The voice is strong as thunder will be held across the land.
Hey, Pat. 2 seconds. Where are you going? Where are you from? Little Elm. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. God bless you guys.
Hey, if you're a speaker for the rally, I need you to come up here to the front. Thank you.
Are y'all ready?
Yes!
I can't hear you. We're going to do our chant. Now, some of you weren't with us and you don't know the chant. And that's unfortunate. So we're going to teach it to you. Here we go. Equal protection.
Equal protection.
Equal justice.
Equal justice.
We the people.
We the people.
Demand abolition.
Demand abolition.
That's pretty good. One more time. Equal protection.
Equal protection.
Equal justice.
Equal justice.
We the people.
We the people.
Demand abolition.
Demand abolition.
Equal protection.
Equal protection.
Equal justice.
Equal justice.
We the people.
We the people.
Demand abolition.
Demand abolition.
Jesus.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Sorry.
Hold the end of the handle.
Bump people in the head. It's quite a selfish thing about most beautiful woman at the march.
Hey.
Justice and mercy. Equal protection, as we were chanting earlier. Equal justice. We're here to support HB 948, the Abolition of Abortion in Texas Act. We're here to interpose ourselves on behalf of our preborn neighbors, to rally around our civil magistrates who have put themselves on the front line on this issue. When you see righteousness being put forth in our government, it is necessary for Christians to support and to encourage those men and women who would seek to honor God's commands in our laws. In May of last year, the Republican Party of Texas took a bold stand. For years, the pro-life movement has sought to make laws that comply with the various federal court rulings on abortion. But instead of seeking to comply with the infamous Roe versus Wade ruling, it chose to simply say no. No to the U.S. Supreme Court. With support of nearly 90% of its delegates, the party issued a legislative priority calling on the Texas legislature to, quote, abolish abortion by enacting legislation to stop the murder of unborn children and to ignore and refuse to enforce any and all federal statutes, regulations, executive orders, and court rulings. what they want to see from their 85th Texas legislature. Some in the Texas legislature have listened to the delegates' wishes and answered the call to completely abolish abortion in Texas. You see some of them up here with me today, and we will hear from them shortly. February the 23rd, 2 days ago, was the anniversary of the start of the Battle of the Alamo. Now you might think that this was planned that way, but we're not that smart. It might be what you call God's providence. Now we in Texas, we love our Alamo lore. And one famous Alamo tradition that comes to us is the story of Lieutenant Colonel William Barrett Travis asking for his men to decide if they were going to stay and fight the army of thousands outside their walls, though they were woefully outnumbered. Now Travis, drawing out his sword, drew his line in the sand. On that day, he asked his men to step across that line if they were willing to stay there and to die, to make the advancing army pay dearly for every life they wished to take. Now, considering there were no survivors in this battle, we don't really know if this story is true, but it is a great story. Now, we have drawn our own line in the sand.
Come on.
Our line is to our legislature. We have drawn it out and we have asked them to step across. Will you cross over and do what God demands of you?
Cross the line.
Will you seek to establish justice for the least of these, our littlest preborn neighbors? Or will you cower in fear of some other higher authority, some court of men and women who will tell you that no, you must allow the murder of children, or no, those children don't deserve equal protection and equal justice? The Supreme Court is not the supreme being.
Come on.
If we are unwilling to say no to the Supreme Court, what have we made it? If we are unwilling to say no to evil, what does that make us? What we're asking you to do today is to say with the apostles, I'm sorry, but we must obey God rather than man. We refuse to continue this treadmill of regulating murder. We wish to establish justice for the preborn by providing for their equal protection under law. The exceptions in Texas law, which create special classes of people who are allowed to murder children, must be removed. They are grossly inequitable. Isaiah 10 says, woe to those who decree iniquitous decrees. The writers who keep writing oppression, to turn aside the needy from justice, and to rob the poor of my people of their right, that widows may be their spoil, and that they may make the fatherless their prey. God takes the laws which we create very seriously. Those laws which rob the poor, spoil the widows, and prey on orphans, those are iniquitous decrees. And they are worthy of God's judgment.
That's right. Stand up. Speak out.
Leviticus 20 says, say to the people of Israel, speaking to Moses, if any one of the people of Israel, or the strangers who sojourn in Israel, give any of his children to Molech, he shall surely be put to death.
Come on.
God says, I myself will set my face against that man who did that thing, and I will cut him off from his people, because he has offered his children to Molech. But he doesn't stop there. He goes on to tell the people around that man, and if the people of the land do at all close their eyes to that man when he gives his children to Molech, and they do not put that man to death, then I will set my face against that man and against the entire clan. My friends, the biggest threat to Texas security does not come from terrorists. It does not come from illegal immigrants. It doesn't come from the federal government. The biggest threat to Texas is the wrath and the judgment of God. Can there be any doubt that people who fail to put a stop to such a grave injustice as abortion deserve the wrath of God? 50,000 abortions in Texas every year. It's over that. And that's only the ones we count. But there is hope, my friends. If we humble ourselves, if we turn from our wickedness and repent of our sins, perhaps God in His mercy will spare us. He is a God who offers forgiveness to all. Human beings are created in the image of God, and we are endowed with Him, by Him, with a right to life. Indeed, it is God who has formed each of us in our own mother's womb. Most powerfully, God Himself chose to enter into this world as a human baby, formed in the womb of a woman, in order to redeem the world from sin, including the sin of murder. For those who repent, He is faithful to forgive. It is time for us as a people to repent of permitting and committing the sin of murdering innocent children. Let us turn away from seeking to comply with a federal court opinion. Let us turn away from seeking to regulate murder when God calls us to establish justice. Let us obey God and ignore Roe. Equal protection, equal justice. We the people demand abolition. Thank you.